ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। 40 न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा
न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा
दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः
दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः
सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम्
सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तम्
यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः
यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः
ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविषाम्
ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविषाम्
शूद्राणां च परन्तप
शूद्राणां च परन्तप
कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि
कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि
स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः
स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः
शमोदमस्तपः शौचम्
शमोदमस्तपः शौचम्
क्षान्तिरार्जवमेव च
शान्तिरार्जवमेव च
ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यम्
ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यम्
ब्रह्मकर्म स्वभावजम्
ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम्
शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यम्
शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यम्
युद्धे चाप्यपलायनम्
युद्धे चाप्यपलायनम्
दानमीश्वरभावश्च
दानमीश्वरभावश्च
क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम्
पात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम्
कृषिगौरक्ष्यवाणिज्यम्
कृषि गौरक्ष्य वाणिज्यम्
वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम्
वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम्
परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म
परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म
शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्
शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्
स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः
स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः
संसिद्धिं लभते नरः
संसिद्धिं लभते नरः
स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिम्
स्वकर्म निरतः सिद्धिम्
यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु.
यथा विन्दति दच्छृणु
So from 41 onwards, Sri Krishna is pursuing a different track of telling us Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Starting with Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga begins with understanding what our preference towards karma is. Preference towards karma. Everybody has a preference. I like this, I don't like this. I like to do this, I don't like that. That kind of job I don't like, this kind of job I like. This is a very, it's universe. So he talked about this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Visham, Shudrasyapi. He introduced those 4 types of preferences. And so it tells us one thing, a very important thing it tells us. What it tells us is that since our preferences change, preferences are always changeable. Without your knowledge, your preference will change. Foods that you did not like before, now you start liking. After some time, we begin to like all the sprouted beans and all that. Sprouted beans, nobody likes. Who will like sprouted? That too without salt. Okay, if you're lucky, your mother will put salt in that. And some lemon juice also can be there. So that's good. But even with all that, there is no chance anybody is going to take sprouted beans. But there is a time when you begin to love it. You begin to say, yeah, this is good. There's nothing wrong with this. This is very wholesome. It becomes wholesome, And so therefore our preferences keep changing. Therefore, this Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Brahmana, they're all preference based, mental inclination based. And so, which are very deeply entrenched to our own nature based. Swabhavajam, nature, one's own nature, right? That's what it is. And so, that nature can change and will change with time. And we saw that during the day also it changes. And then during our lifetime, it's going to change. And therefore, there is no such thing called fixed. If somebody says, I am a Brahmana, then the person is probably talking about this Jati Brahmana. Jati Brahmana. I am a Brahmana because my parents were Brahmanas. They are Brahmanas because their parents were Brahmanas. That is called Jati Brahmana. But here, this is Guna Brahmana, preference Brahmana. Okay, so we saw that. Elaborately, we saw that. Now he's talking about, having said this, now he's going to talk about, this is just too brilliant it is. It's a very empowering also. He's saying, he's going to say, Swe karmani abhirataha. Whatever is the job that you're built to do. They say, I heard this thing in America. They say, it's your calling. They say, it's your calling. So your calling means what? Hey, that means this is what you're built to do. It's your calling to teach. It's your calling to build bridges. It's your calling to draw. It's your calling. Go take it up. That's it. You are that. You are a poet. It's your calling. And so whatever is your calling, go after that. Okay, you might say it's easy to say that life is not like that, not that easy. You can't simply do what you like to do. Okay, that is fine. We have to make adjustments periodically. Constraints are always there. Constraints are there. Fine. But this is the advice Krishna is giving. If you have a choice, then go with what you like, what you prefer to do. And so, sve karmani abhirataha. This Ram Dhatu has come once again. Ram, Ramaha comes from Ram Dhatu. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha Ramate Swasmin Ramate iti Ramaha. The one who revels in oneself. One who is happy being oneself. That person is Ramaha. Audio is good, no? Sometimes when I see no shaking heads or something, I have to see something. Only then I get some feedback. So it's early morning in India. In the US, many different time zones are there. People are traveling like Hema and all, constantly traveling between India and US, jet lag. All these problems are there. So I understand all that. So just at least a few people should shake your heads. Okay, so Rama. Then Virama. Sanskrit students should know Virama. Viraha means full stop. A period. A stop. A temporary cessation of action is called Virama. Full stop in a sentence is called Virama. Virama. Vigataha Ramanam. Yasmat is Viramaha. Whatever action is going on, that action has to stop. That stoppage is called Viramaha. So that Ram Dhatu is there here. So a little bit of Sanskrit. So that Abhirataha, Abhiruchihi, that Ruchi is there in that particular. Where should the Ruchi be? Sve karmani. In one's own duty, in one's own karma, in one's own love for profession. It could be family profession. People who take up the profession of their family. I don't know if you found this or not. They are very contented. They just do it naturally. It's all coming. And from grandfather did this, grandmother did this, and parents did it, and they boy and so there is no like training school and apprentice, this, that. All these things are not there. You just keep doing what they did. Already they are good at. Takes time. It takes time to hone one's skills. Every job requires skills. There is no job that does not require a skill. And cooking, the worst of all. And cooking is not easy. People say cooking and all. You try cooking and see, then only you will know. And these bachelors, my goodness, we spend so much time just running left and right. It just doesn't come. After years you do, and sambar is still very unique sambar. It is a unique sambar. We give it names and all. Arachavutta sambar, Mysore rasam and all, we give names. But it's not Mysore rasam. We followed the procedure. That's all we did. But what comes out is not Mysore sambar, Mysore rasam. Accidentally, one day, my Mysore rasam turned out to be very good. And so then people started calling me Mysore rasam and all. But that was accident. It doesn't come at all. I don't know what. You follow the procedure exactly. Samaytu pa. And then you follow the procedure. And thanks to her, we did something, And there's an old lady. And her books were very popular those days. Anyway, these days people Google. But so nothing. It takes time. You have to hone your skills. You get from years and years of work is required. So sve karmani. Don't keep on switching jobs from here to there, then there to here, and then here to there. Switching places, switching companies. It's maybe required in some situations, but that's not what Krishna advises. Just stick to what you're doing. Be happy doing the job you love, rather than doing a job that gives you some other benefits, some other benefit. And that some other benefit may or may not keep you happy. Maybe keep you happy for a while, but after that, you'll begin wondering, what am I doing? This what am I doing question. Try to avoid that. This one Krishna is saying. And so, the person who delights in his or her own duty, sve karmani abhirataha. Okay? And so that's in my case, at least, it was true. I gave up a job, first job I ever got in the US. I gave it up completely. Gave it up. They offered me. The guy called me 3, 4 times also, and I took up a job with much lesser salary, significantly less salary it was. But I ended up loving the job. People ended up loving me there, and they respected my work, and I enjoyed it. We were like a family. We were like a family. Stress level was less, and I made a good call. I found that company that made me an offer, the pharmaceutical company. It's a subsidiary of Pfizer. Pfizer. It was a company called Searle, GD Searle. Those days it was an independent company, but it was purchased by Pfizer. I found that stress levels were very high in that job. Some pressure was there for everybody. Somehow I sensed it. And so it was a good call I think I made. So that is what Krishna is saying here. You just be careful. You don't get carried away by some things that may not really keep you fulfilled. And so elders can have good advice on these things. Not all the time also. Because they are also not sure sometimes. They're also not sure. So we need to be educated in these matters, Sam siddhim labhate naraha. Naraha nariyate iti naraha. Okay, nariyate. The one who does not ever disappear is called naraha. Okay, that's one meaning of naraha. There's another meaning for naraha. Okay, naye, to carry. Dru naye, to carry. And so narati iti naraha. Narati iti naraha. He carries himself, keeps on carrying himself. Somehow, from one body to another body to another body to another body. Same meaning. And Paramatma nayati iti naraha. Paramatma keeps taking him, carries him from body to body to body. And therefore that body is called naraha. That person is called naraha. Those are the meanings. Look at how profound these things are. There's 2 syllables are there, but so profound. And so, that person, naraha, labate, gains. What does the person gain? Some siddhim, siddhi. Siddhi. So here siddhi is not moksha. Siddhi is success. A life well led. That is called siddhi. I led my life well. My day was good today. I did a good job. I'm happy about yesterday. Suppose somebody can say. It's called siddhi. Just purely based on, did it help me or not? Was I helpful for somebody else? If not, did I help myself? Did I learn something new? Did I mature in the process? Karma. Finally, karma means maturity. Finally. Initially, survival and all that. Yeah, survival is very important. And but once survival is granted, even if survival is not granted, then also better enjoy karma. Because what other choice you have? I can just keep on murmuring and do the karma, or I cannot murmur and do the karma. We're going to see shortly. Next shloka is going to tell us how to do karma. Okay, Krishna is going to say that. So, gains success means takes me towards spirituality, because that's the final goal here. And so we know so many other words. Takes me towards antakarana shuddhi, because karma can only give me antakarana shuddhi. We know all these words. Takes me to a point where I am no longer a victim of my likes and desires.
Fulfillment.
Likes and dislikes. Ragadvesha, because tayorna vashamagachet, he said, that's it. That becomes my goal. Siddhi. These are all definitions of siddhi. You can give your own definition. And therefore, it takes me to a point where now I gain jnana yogyata. Jnanam is being talked about. You are free. Somebody is going to tell you you are free. How am I ready to accept that statement? Therefore, I want that jnana yogyata, antakarana shuddhi, all are adhikaritvam. I want to be an adhikari. Vivekam, vairagam, shamadamadi, and mumukshitvam. That's it. These are all definitions of siddhi. Siddhi. We should not go into some other siddhis and all that. Powers, spiritual powers. I don't know if you call it spiritual powers. Some powers are there. Some mental powers are there. So that is different here. So, naraha samsiddhim labate. Once again, he says the same thing. Swakarma nirataha siddhim yatha vindati tat shrunu. Okay, now listen. Shrunu. How that person who is engaged in one's own duties, one's own karmas, swakarmani, swakarma nirataha is equal to swakarmani nirataha. Okay. How that person yatha vindati, how that person gains this siddhi, listen to me, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, he's saying. How karma produces chitta shuddhi? When the whole world is going after all these fat salaries, you're asking me to sit in this job and do this job, even though I'm good in this job. Like that. So it's a tough call, easy to say and then walk away. So, but Krishna is going to give us some insights. So Swamiji, which Swamiji says, the reason we are talking like this is because the problem is you, the solution is you. That is why. That is why our whole vision is entirely different. The problem is me, but somebody else is going to give me the solution is not there. Advaita Vedanta is not that. God also cannot save me. Just by going to heaven also, no saviorship is possible. God will ask me questions. Hey, you are free. Even in earth, you are free. Why did you have to come here? And why did you think I am here? When you say I am all pervasive, and then you are saying God is in heaven also. How is this possible? How could you accept these kind of statements? There were so many good teachers who were teaching. What happened? Like that, if we ask in heaven, what will I do? And so that beauty is there. Problem is you, solution is you. With that being said, then so with that being said, so Swamiji was making a point. That should be the goal of life. And how do you help children grow into that vision? Okay. And so parents have to be aligned to that vision. Then only children also will follow along. Okay. So we need to be careful not to get carried away by all these external things. Start, looks. He talks about looks. Looks are important to some extent, yes. But looks are what that define me. If I say, then I am moving away from myself. Good job is important, yes. But it is the job and all the characteristics and this and that, the company and that defines me. If I say, then I am moving away from myself. Like this, slowly I squander away who I am. I'm moving more and more, further and further away from myself. And I become more and more self-judgmental. Look at that. So then it's going to be again a long journey to come back to myself. Everything is important, but where do you place your bets? That is the question. Where do you place your bets? So Shastram is so important. And so self-assurance. We have to be self-assured. And at some point, we got to come back. Yes, I did a lot of things. They're all helping me. They all help me. Everything helped me. If I say, that's good. and then move towards this vision, Siddhi. And therefore, then I can appreciate that there's no room for conclusions like, I am no good, I am a failure. These statements are just wrong statements. My karma got exhausted, had to get exhausted, and so it's exhausting. That's why it had to be like this. But I can make the best of what I have. Okay? This is critical. This kind of a conclusion is critical. And so, tat shrunu. How karma can become karma yoga? Tat shrunu. Listen to that. Let's translate this. A person who delights in his own duty gains success. A person who delights in his own duty gains success. Full stop.
Gains what?
Success. Success you can put in quotes, not the common definition of success. Listen to how one devoted to his own duty listen to how one devoted to his own duty, finds success. A person who delights in his own duty gains success. Full stop. Listen to how one devoted to his own duty finds success. All right. Next shloka. Yatah pravrittirbhutanam
Yatah pravrittirbhutanam
yena sarvamidam tatam
yena sarvamidam tatam
swakarmana tamabhyarchya
swakarmana tamabhyarcha
siddhim vindati manavaha
siddhim vindati manavaha
yatah pravrittirbhutanam
yatah pravrittirbhutanam
yena sarvamidam tatam
yena sarvamidam tatam
swakarmana tamabhyarchya
swakarmana tamabhyarcha
siddhim vindati manavaha.
siddhim vindati manavaha.
Yeah. So one of the most important shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. And I've heard Pujya Swamiji give public talks. Many public talks I've heard through audio cassettes those days. And in the public talks, often he ends up quoting this shloka. Often. That tells us that this shloka is an important shloka. So we're going to spend some time on this. Translation and all is easy. Yatah pravrittir bhutana means that from whom the world is created, yena sarvam idam tatam, that by whom the world is pervaded, then by worshipping that Ishvara, you will gain siddhi. That is a translation. Okay. So words are not difficult to understand. So what is the purpose of the shloka? How do I convert karma to karma yoga? Karma anybody can do. You don't need to teach people to do karma. But my attitudes towards karma is what is going to mature, make me a mature person. is going to make the difference between a fulfilled person and person who's struggling to be fulfilled. That's the difference. Attitude is all makes a difference. They say, what is it? What happens to you is 10%, 90% is attitude, something like that they say. Okay. So that attitude is what Krishna is talking about.
Attitude determines the altitude in life.
Oh, attitude determines the altitude in life. Okay. So, but then this is not a pep talk. An attitude, everybody says you must have a good attitude. But how to get that attitude, Krishna is going to say. How? Attitude towards what? So all that we're going to see that. So Swamiji says, there are three things with respect to which your attitude must change. Our attitude must change. Karma is being talked about. Karma, karma phalam, and karma phala data. Karma, karma phalam, and karma phala data. These are the three things with respect to which my attitude has to shift dramatically, possibly dramatically. Okay, it has to change. Okay, what is karma? Karma means action, free will, all involved. That comes out of me, out of the jiva is karma. Okay. Jnanam is not, I'm not responsible. I can't create jnanam. Why I can't create jnanam? Because jnanam is what is. This is a book. I don't decide that this is a book. This is a book. Jnanam. Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. That also I did not create. I'm struggling to understand Bhagavad Gita maximum. Understand what Krishna said. That's all it is. So there, jnanam, I have no role to play except to gain that knowledge. Okay. So that and karma are different things. Karma is where free will is involved. Okay. Karma phalam. Yeah, of course. I do karma in order for karma phalam. And so I get the result. My attitude towards the result also may require a dramatic shift. We're going to see that. We're going to see that. So attitude towards karma, attitude towards karma phalam, that's coming towards me. Okay. And then karma phala data. Karma phala data. So obviously Ishvaraha, the one who gives the karma phalam. All right. So, whether I get what I desire or whether I get what I deserve, that we have to see. We all feel we deserve, I studied a lot, I do this, that, and then therefore I deserve. Okay, fine. Just be careful, that's all. There's always a slip between the cup and the lip. So this deserve idea, slowly you let go. You do your best and then wait what happens. If you get acknowledged and if you get awarded, that's great. If not, at least you have a shock absorb. Okay. And so let's look at karma. Karma. Attitude towards karma. Now, Ishvara is there. All pervasive Ishvara. Okay. And so like attitude towards karma is what? I look at karma as an offering. The karma is going to go into this cosmos, into this whole thing. It's going. Karma is meant to produce a result. And the result can't come just like that. Only when the pot is stirred, something will happen. You put something in the pot, something new will happen. So karma is injected into the system by me. I am an essential part of this universe. And that entity, small entity, all right, still that karma is coming. And now my attitude must be what? It should be an offering. I have offered my karma. Look at it as an offering. That's this culture. That's how it is. Ishvara, it's an offering. All religious cultures are like that only. And so it's an offering. So, if I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate my husband, I hate my wife, so many things I hate, And so then what? Then it can be a nightmare. It's a nightmare because there are only two things, home and office. These are only two things in the life of a human being. Is there any other thing that I forgot? If I forgot, you just let me know. Send me a text message, okay? So these are two things. So I hate my boss and I hate the people I live with. If I say, then it's going to be very rough. But then Krishna is saying, my attitude towards karma, just shift the attitude completely. Don't allow it to get too bad. Don't allow yourself to be victimized too much. Before that happens, just say, I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to offer my karma. Offer my karma. Because it's a karma that is offered. It's not going to be appreciated. Boss is not appreciating. Still, I offer my karma. Okay, because they need it. I know that they need it. And so I will do it as an offering. Ishvara Arpanam. Next step. Because it's an offering that's coming from me, I will learn to enjoy that offering. I will learn to enjoy. Other people may say this and that, okay, but I'm going to learn to enjoy it. Enjoy. If I can enjoy it by itself, by nature, that's great. But then I'm not going to let all these surroundings affect what I do. Affect what I do. I will do it. I'll enjoy doing it. Okay. Even though I get screamed at. Okay. I will enjoy doing what I do. Enjoyment is part of it. So Dhruti, Utsaha, Samanvitaha, and all we saw earlier, right? Utsaha must be there. Enthusiasm is there. Second step, right? I enjoy. I'd like to be cheerful about the things. And that's better. Even psychologically, it's better. If I keep on doing something that's saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, how is that going to help me? It's not going to help at all. Even psychologists will say, no, that's not good. Learn to enjoy what you do. So enjoy what you do. Then, because it's an offering, and because I must enjoy what I do, I can also get better at what I do. I can get better. Don't say this is a waste of time and this, that. No, don't say it's a waste of time. You're earning money from this. You're filling up your stomach with this karma only. Therefore, you can't denigrate it at all, really speaking. And so learn to get better. You know that, Kuju Swamiji, suddenly it came to my mind. Somebody hired a cook. Some of you know the example. Somebody hired a cook. So the cook would come and then do the jobs there at home. Her job is 3 times a day she'll come and cook. And then she was also, while cooking, she would just sing. She would just sing. So then what happens? Then the cook was singing, Then she got so good at singing. And then somebody at the local place said, you know what, you should come and sing at our function in the evening. After you finish cooking, you come and sing. And then she sang. Then people loved it. Then after some time, they started saying, oh, who is there in this house? Yeah, the singer is cooking in this house. Previously, the cook was singing. Now the singer is cooking. Hey, what is this? What happened? That's the transformation that happens. And so learn to like it and then improve yourself also, because every job requires improvement. Sve karmani abhirataha. Therefore, never just switch jobs. Switch jobs means what? Same job, but switching employer we can do anytime. That's not a problem. But that job that you love to do, just as far as possible, stick to it as far as possible. Okay. And so that's because I have to improve. I have to keep on improving. The more I improve, the better I feel. I feel about myself better also. So, Paramarthaji gives an example of Chinmayanandaji. He's saying, Chinmayaji, used to insist on even the small things you do, you must do properly. He's talking about folding paper and putting it in an envelope. Folding paper. Don't do like chapati and all. You fold the paper properly. Just so take the time. Corners are there. Then if you want to fold one more, fold it like that. Press it nicely, neatly. And then don't just Just shove it inside. No, no, not like that. Just open it nicely and put the paper in the envelope, and then you have to stick it. Don't use your mouth to stick envelopes. That's not a good thing to do. It's just not good. The people standing in front of you also is not good. For your tongue also, it's not really good. We don't know what's going into your tongue, and other problems are there. I don't want to talk about it. So just take the time and bring your glue stick or whatever it is and put the gum. Or you have rice, boiled rice is there. Okay, do that. That is also acceptable. Wash your hands after that and simply do like this and then this. What is all this? And just be clean. Do take the time and do it. Like that, he used to say it. And so you say Chinmayanandaji was the busiest man on the face of earth at that time, at his time. And he is saying, take the time to do it. What's the problem? So like that, we also can, we may have to rush certain things, all right. We can do things. We don't have to just do things to the point of idling, No, we take the time, enjoy what you do it properly. It feels good. The envelope is clean, nice, and then ready to be posted. Once our Swamiji Dayananda had come to Houston, and then in 2006 or what, I forgot now. 2006 was his first visit, I think. So he came, and then we're having program going on, and satsang going to 3 or 4 people's places. And so I was telling him the schedule and everything, and we were going. And somebody's place we came. That afternoon it was. I think it could have been pre-lunch. So a lot of people had assembled there. And so some Q&A was going on. So the host had said, okay, now she has a question. And so she asked a question. Then he asked a question. So there was a question about this prayer, puja. Puja is there. And some explanation about puja. This is a good question it was. Something like, how can you worship a piece of stone? Something like that. I don't remember the exact question. So it was a good question, and then Swamiji started answering. So he said things like, everything is symbolic in life. Many things are symbolic in life. Even the words you say hi. You say hi. What is hi? What is hi? Hi is a sound. Hi is a sound or not? Hi is a sound. It's sound. That's why you're able to record it from your phone. You can record it because it's a sound only. Okay, hi is a sound. But it's also an English word. All right, it's an English word. Who decided it's an English word? Okay, somebody decided. It's a sound. Then somebody said hi means it's an address to somebody. It's a statement of, hey, hi, how are you? Hi. That is hi. Okay. So it is a pure symbolic only. It is. Hi is symbol. Bye is symbol. What is bye? Only those who know English know what bye is. And bye is a sound. And that sound you decide that bye means departing. I'm departing. Bye-bye. That's all it is. It's all symbols only. A series of symbols everywhere. Therefore, like that he says. And then he was. Then the host said, okay, now we move to this person, and then they have a question. And then suddenly Swamiji says, no, I'm not done yet. Okay. Means what? Swamiji is pausing. He is pausing, making sure you all understood all these things. And he has a lot more to say. He says this. He said, I'm not done yet. I don't have snap answers. Snap answers means what? All this witty and then within 2 minutes done and then move on. There's no moving on. Just like that. I'm not here to give you some small short tips and tricks. This is not a tips and tricks session. So he said that. And again there was silence. Then he went on for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Important question. And so, what is the question of rushing through all this? Understand, let's take the steps properly. This is about ourselves, our life it is. And so, these swamis and all, they're not going to rush. They are role models for us because of all these things. Correct? So I'm reminded of that. So what did we talk about? Attitude towards karma. You give it as an offering, number one. You enjoy the karma and you improve, fine-tune it. Take the time, fine-tune it. And that's the attitude towards karma. Then karma phalam. Karma. Okay, so first attitude, offering attitude is Ishwararpana Buddhi. We've already seen it before. Ishwararpana Buddhi. Maye, Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya Adhyatma Chetasa. Third chapter. Look it up. Mayi Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya. That is the meaning of Ishwararpana Buddhi. Sanyasya. Give it up completely to me. Means just go for it. Enjoy the karma and just let go after that. Sanyasya. Do your best. He doesn't say sacrifice your karma. He doesn't say don't do your karma. No, that also can be a meaning of that. No, that's not the meaning. Sanyasya means just do your best and then offer it. Okay. Then karma phalam. Attitude towards karma phalam. That also we know. Why? Because once I've done the karma, then what's going to happen is really not in my hands. I can try hard to make sure I get what I want. At least in cooking, all the things are right there in my control. Apparently, it's in my control. And so I decide how much quantity of what goes there. But what happens, we don't know. It can be a slip. Power can go off. Gas gone. All these things happen while cooking. So, not in my control. Final outcome is not in my control. I recognize that. Every cook recognizes that. In fact, good cooks recognize that very well. So they don't know what's going to happen. Good cook, so what? Just that Arpana Buddhi has to be there. So, karma phalam. Now, my knowledge is so limited. Forces are too many acting in my life. Cooking itself, if it's not in my control, what about all the things that are happening? And I'm going out and working, and so many people I depend on. I depend on the government. I depend on so many things. People, neighbors, relatives, so many people I depend on. And so that is only one part of what I depend on. I depend on so many other natural factors also. Rain, I depend on rain. I depend on the weather. Everything I depend on. Bhagavan knows everything. The entire order is Ishvara. The entire operating system of this universe is Ishvara for us. And therefore, that operating system is what will decide what's going to come. Okay. So, karma phalam is in. If things happen to my liking, I can only marvel. Am I audible? Okay, I got a message. You're
It's breaking up middle.
Okay.
No, Guruji, we don't have a problem.
Okay.
Cracking is there. Cracking sometimes.
Okay. All right. Let me know if there's a problem. So, but the karma phalam I'm getting is going to be, it's complicated because it has to account for so many things. Suppose I'm looking for a promotion. This promotion thing is always a stressful thing because it may happen, it may not happen. It can happen later, it can happen next year, it can happen the year after next also. And so Bhagavan has to decide, how did I relate to my boss? Did I say things that upset him or her? He has to go back in time also. Bhagavan has to go back in time and decide on that. Based on that only I can get a promotion. And this guy's moods, boss's moods also are important. This is just one small thing. But in general, Bhagavan has to go back in the past life also. Past karma has to be taken into account. and other people's karma taken into account, put it all in a pot and then see what comes. Bhagavan has to do all that stuff. So very complicated. Karma phalam is complicated. Deciding what the karma phalam is. And therefore, the best attitude I can have is prasada buddhi or prasada bhavana. I've done my best. With that, there is no doubt. No qualms are there. And so better have prasada buddhi. I can accept things without prasada buddhi. I can accept things with prasada buddhi. Just like karma. Just like karma. I can hate what I'm doing, or I can learn to love what I'm doing. So here, prasada buddhi is called for. And so, therefore, then what? Every result that I get is a just result. J-U-S-T, just, justice. I mean, justice. Therefore, there can't be something like people are unjust to me. God is unjust. One of the things we can't handle at all is injustice. This injustice is very difficult to handle because life operates on trust, trust only. People just believe others. That's it. Belief. Everything works on belief. And so suddenly somebody violates one's trust. And while breaches confidence, breaches trust, we can't handle it. We can't handle it. Especially children who learn to trust each other. The first time something happens, they're shocked. They're shocked because they never thought that somebody could do that. Okay. So very sad it is, it happens. And so violation of trust is there. And so, but in the case of Bhagavan, I can be happy that whatever I get is exactly what I'm supposed to get at that moment, even though I may not like it. Therefore, better have this prasada buddhi. Okay, karma or karma phalam. Third is karma phaladata. Karma phaladata, Ishvaraha. Ishvara. And now, so previously as a child, my idea of God was always there. And God gives me. I need God. And so God gives me what I want. And also God is of a particular form, or like Ganesha, God is of a particular form, Sri Rama, etc. So Eka Rupa Ishvaraha is there. My bhakti grows with that Eka Rupa Ishvaraha. But Vedanta is going to talk about an all-pervasive Ishvara. How am I going to move from here to there? So my attitude of karma phaladata also has to change from this Eka Rupam to Aneka Rupam to Vishwa Rupam to Arupam. That's the journey I have to go. We saw that. And so, Arupam. Why Arupam? Because all pervasive cannot have a form. Form and pervasiveness don't go together at all. If there is a form, it is not pervasive. If it is pervasive, it cannot have a form. Okay? Not complicated to understand. So I have to move. My vision has to move towards that. Therefore, my attitude towards the karma phaladata has to change. And so he's going to say, Yatah pravrittir bhutanam. Pravrittihi, origin, source, utpattihi, cause. Okay? Yataha bhutanam pravrittihi. That Ishvara is one from whom, Yataha means from whom, the one from whom, that is the translation of Yataha, Yasmat, that is the meaning. Yataha, Bhutanam Pravrittihi, Bhutas, from which all the beings, living and non-living beings, means the entire universe, has come about. Utpattihi Jayate, Yasmat Jayate. Okay. So that means what? Now, see this Ishvara as not just a person who was helping me in my life, but as a person who is the cause of the entire universe. Continue expanding your knowledge of Ishvara. Okay. And that God created the world Then before the world created, what happened to God? Well, God continued to exist before also. Okay, that vision has to be there. And so, now, cause means now we know. The cause of a pot is what? You need a pot maker to make this pot. Nimitta Karanam, we know. Nimitta Karanam is needed. But the pot maker needs material also. Upadana Karanam is needed, without which the pot maker is helpless. Utterly helpless. That's why COVID means supply chain is disrupted and all companies, they did not get the raw material and they can't produce the product. All the experts, all the manufacturers are all helpless because they need the product. They need product. Lockdown for 3 weeks. 3-week lockdown. Can you imagine what it does to the world? And everywhere it's the same thing. People are consuming more and more, and so the whole process just goes standstill. Okay, some exceptions are made. So therefore, anyway, Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam are needed for a creation. That from whom is not, Krishna is not explicit. Doesn't say whether it is this one, Nimitta Karanam or Upadana Karanam. Nimitta Karanam, of course, must be there. Some intelligent being must be there, because every product, you can see intelligence. The intelligence of the pot maker is there right here. How do you know the pot maker is intelligent? You go try to make the pot. As simple as that. If you're not sure, just make a pot and tell me, give it to me. Okay, that itself will tell me that there is so much intelligence involved in this. Okay, so Ghatakarta, Ghatagnaha. Pot maker is the knower of the pot. Patakarta, Patagnaha. Cloth maker is the knower of the cloth. Sarvasya Karta, Sarvajnaha. The one who makes it all is the knowledge, is the knower of all. Okay, and therefore, that is Nimitta Karanam. But what about Upadana Karanam, material? Every religion, every theology just stops with Nimitta Karanam without talking about Upadana Karanam. That is why they are placing God in heaven, quietly, conveniently thinking there is the end of all this analysis. And then that is the beginning of the analysis. Where is the question of end of analysis? And so, Upadana Karanam comes. You know the story after that. Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Bhagavan cannot go and borrow the material from somebody else. The material has to come from Bhagavan. Like Yatha Urna Nabihi. We saw all that before. And so, that idea, how do you know he's talking about both Upadana Karanam and Nimitta Karanam? Next, Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. That's it. That statement, Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. Tatam means Vyaptam. Vyaptam means pervaded. And that by whom this entire creation is pervaded. The minute you say that, then it's not a God sitting in heaven. Sitting in heaven is non-pervasion. Either you have to say sitting in heaven or you have to say pervasive. You can't say both in the same breath. Not possible. They're contrary. And therefore, we will look at all these things. This is a beautiful shloka. Again, summarizing all the things we have said, nothing new is going to be said here. And so, that's the flow of this shloka. And we will try to round out all the things we have studied in this shloka. Okay? Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasyashalini Desho Yam Kshobharahitaha Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaha Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.